What makes this moment even sharper is how quickly she turns her judgment into mockery. Instead of pausing to understand, she attacks the confidence of her own friend, laughing at her choice of partner as if love is a luxury only reserved for the wealthy. To her, a man's worth is measured by the shine of his watch, the brand of his suit, the model of his phone. She truly believes that standing next to someone who looks poor will somehow lower her status. And because of that mindset, she treats her friend's boyfriend like an embarrassment, someone too insignificant to even sit at the same table. But what she fails to grasp is that character, kindness, and loyalty have no price tag. A man doesn't become valuable because he owns expensive things, he becomes valuable because he carries a good heart. Arrogance always exposes itself long before the truth does. People are often judged in the very first moment they walk into a room, and sometimes that judgment is painfully wrong. In this story, the girl looks at a man who simply wants a cup of coffee and instantly labels him as worthless, just because his clothes are worn and his appearance isn't polished. She pushes him aside, calls him a hobo, and believes he doesn't deserve to stand in a fancy cafe. But what she doesn't realize is that dignity isn't measured by brand names, and humanity isn't defined by outward perfection. Her friend tries to remind her that everyone, no matter how they look, carries a story, a struggle, and a heart that deserves respect. Yet her arrogance blinds her. And in that moment, without even knowing it, she isn't humiliating him. She's exposing the emptiness within herself. Sometimes the poorest person in the room is the richest in character. And this is where the story turns from deception to something unexpectedly human. Because after everything falls apart, the lies, the bet, the heartbreak, the man doesn't chase her with excuses. He chases her with honesty. He admits the game started as something stupid, something he never should have agreed to. But somewhere between the laughter they shared, the meals they cooked, the long conversations that softened their evenings, something real happened. His feelings changed. His intentions changed. And for the first time, he wasn't playing a role or proving a point, he was simply a man who had fallen for someone who made his empty days feel full. She tries to resist, tries to hide behind her anger, but the truth is she felt something too. Not for his money, not for his house, but for him. And when she finally looks into his eyes, she realizes that the month they spent together wasn't fake at all. Sometimes the heart finds truth in the very place where everything else was a lie. But life has a way of revealing intentions, and it does so when the doctor walks in with news no one expected. The old man, who believed he was dying, is suddenly told he's perfectly healthy. The tests were mixed up. He has years ahead of him, not a month. And instead of celebrating his second chance at life, the girl who pretended to love him reacts with frustration, even anger. She isn't upset because he lived, she's upset because her plan didn't. A month of acting, cooking, pretending, wasted. And just when she thinks she can walk away with some dignity, the truth cracks open even wider. The illness, the panic, the doctor, none of it was real. It was all a planned setup, a bet made by two men trying to prove one cold, uncomfortable point. Money can make someone stay, but it can never make someone love. The moment greed is exposed, the illusion of love collapses. Greed has a quiet way of disguising itself as opportunity, and that's exactly what happens when another girl steps into the picture. She sees an older man, fragile and grieving, convinced he has only a month left to live. Instead of offering comfort or kindness, she sees a shortcut to luxury, a house, 8 cars, a life of ease handed to her without effort. So she slips into the role of a loving wife, cooking for him, cleaning the house, smiling on command, all while silently counting the days until she becomes the owner of everything he has. To her, it isn't a relationship, it's an investment. She's not waiting for love to grow, she's waiting for him to die. And the saddest part is that the old man believes she's there for companionship, unaware that every gentle gesture she gives is fueled by nothing but greed. When your heart is driven by gain, love becomes nothing more than an act. And then comes the moment life loves most, the moment when truth walks in quietly and flips everything upside down. The man she had been insulting with so much confidence finally arrives, but this time, he isn't just another face in the cafe. He steps into the room and is greeted with respect by the very man pretending to be wealthy. Because the rich guy is actually his assistant, and the so-called hobo is the leading star of a major film. He was only dressed that way because he was preparing for a role, slipping into the life of a homeless character to make his performance real. The clothes, the empty pockets, the trailer, everything she mocked was nothing more than part of the job. And suddenly, the laughter dies in her throat. The person she thought was beneath her was far above anything she imagined. Judgment collapses the moment truth stands up.